Hello everyone, Suparna. Welcome back to my channel Suparna's Speech Therapy Clinic. In my last video, I had discussed about the features of children with autistic disorder and also children with Asperger syndrome. So, today let us see about the features of childhood disintegrative disorder, PDD not otherwise specified, and Rett syndrome. Though Rett syndrome is not included under the ASD that is spectrum in the recent diagnostic manual, still I will point out some of the features of Rett syndrome. So, basically first let us see the features of childhood disintegrative disorder. The childhood disintegrative disorder was first, the term was put forward by a Austrian educator Heller, and hence it is otherwise known as Heller's syndrome or disintegrative psychosis. So, earlier in the initially childhood disintegrative disorder was diagnosed only on the basis of a neurological condition or a medical condition. Later when the literature was reviewed and when researchers came with new studies, they came to a conclusion that there is no need of a neurological condition or a medical condition for a CDD to be diagnosed. So, basically these children, they are identified or they manifest the features between the age of 2 and 10 years. Somewhere between the age of 2 and 10 years, mostly the regression or the child loses the abilities by the age of after the age of 3 years. So, somewhere between 2 and 10 years, the children tend to develop lose the skills which they have already developed. So, basically they have developmental delay, and that is delay in both speech development and also in motor development, and they will have a very poor social interaction skills. So, I said there will be a regression between the age of somewhere at the age of between the age of 2 and 10 years. So, the regression can take place in the areas such as language skills, that is maybe receptive language and expressive language, then motor skills, social skills, play skills, bowel and bladder control, and also self care skills. So, like in any of these areas, if there is a regression or if the skills achieved in this particular domain is lost, we can consider it as it can be considered under CDD. So, basically they have very poor social interaction, very poor communication skills, and also repetitive behaviors along with the above mentioned difficulties. So, those are the basic features or some of the common characteristic features that you see in childhood disintegrative disorder. And next comes the PDD-NOS, that is pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. So, basically it is also known as subthreshold autism or atypical autism. So, when a child comes to us and he exhibits some of the features of ASD, but does not meet the criteria, that is according to the DSM criteria, the child does not meet the DSM criteria, but shows or exhibits the features of ASD. So, such a child or such a child can be diagnosed can be labeled as a PDD-NOS. Though we do not label it like a PDD-NOS, we the diagnosis we give is ASD itself, but it can be either diagnosed as atypical autism or PDD-NOS. So, these children, they have differentiated social relatedness and communication abilities, and they have a very limited range of interest, or they have very restricted behavior, restricted area of interest or restricted interested areas, and they show repetitive behaviors as well. So, that is the common features exhibited by children with PDD-NOS, that is PDD not otherwise specified. So, next comes the Rett syndrome. So, in Rett syndrome, basically the girls are more affected than males, though boys are very rarely affected with Rett syndrome, and the marked features or the important characteristic features that you see in them is they can't be consoled while crying. We can't console them, and they have a screaming behavior patterns, and they can have seizures, their sleep patterns are very much disturbed, and they have a malnutrition because of poor feeding skills, and they have a very small head circumference, and they have a habit of biting their teeth, that is bruxism, grinding their teeth, and they have and we can observe abnormal hand oral movements in those kind of children. And basically they won't be interested in anything around them, either toys or people or any activity. They are not interested in any of them. They will be in their own world, and basically they have a regression, or they show regression by the age of 18 months. Usually that is around 1.5 years they will be achieving skills, and by 1.5 years or 18 months we can see them losing the skills that they have achieved. They have a lot of balancing issues and coordination problems also. So these are basically the features exhibited by CDD, that is childhood disintegrative disorder, PDD-NOS and Rett syndrome. And if you need to know, like I might have left out some of the points, if you need to know many anything more in detail, you can mail me. I will be giving my mail address in the link in the description box, or you can comment in the comment box, you can mention in the comment box, and or you can mention in my Facebook Suparna Speech Therapy page. And so please like, share and subscribe my channel Suparna's Speech Therapy Clinic. Thank you.